My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about something that is taking place, or perhaps over the last couple of days has been taking place. And I do feel like it's impacting some sort of GPS. This is a strange start to the reading, but we have natural disasters and outer space. And you might be like, well, Carmen, but can there be natural disasters out there? Yes, there absolutely can. There can be like, well, I guess like a solar flare would be an example, right? There is a shift or some strange, maybe even like geomagnetic stuff happening, and it could impact somebody being able to use GPS or somebody being able to deliver something. There is, I think, an impact to technology or access to technology, perhaps even like the internet, right? Because of something that is happening. Maybe it's not a grand scale, might not impact everybody, right? But I do feel like there's going to be some chaos. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, along with more information on how to become a member and also how to get one of the candles that I make. Let's dive in. I think we'll go with... we're going to go with the Prisma Visions Tarot. What else do we have? Page of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, see, I think there's going to be communication issues. So this could indicate problems with satellites, problems with GPS, problems with internet. Ace of Swords in the reverse, but it could be kind of exacerbated, or someone could be taking advantage of it because then information is a little bit slower moving, right? So we have the Hierophant and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, there's a structure or like, yeah, I'm going to stay with structure. There's a structure in place. And the way I'm seeing it is like payments being done. The technology that facilitates purchase orders, for example. Things like that could be at risk or could be even like attacked, although this does say natural disaster. There's an issue here that could impact commerce. Hello, daughter of Saturn. Did I say hello, Helen? How's it going? Hello, April. How are we doing? We've got Temperance. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. So bear with me. I have sold software and technology and things like that, but my understanding might be limited here. But the way that I'm seeing this is we have a structure in place. It could even be like a power grid, right? But there's a structure in place that for now is fine. For now is serving its purpose. But when there is a change in like the wind, or when there is a change in the temperature or something like that, there is a shift that creates or exacerbates a vulnerability. So we have a lot of things built on, I don't know, could I say like a house of cards? Would that be an appropriate analogy? This is like delicate and not built to last. So there is stress making this satellite system or whatever it is freak out. For right now, it's like there's this symbiotic, like this is helping and this is helping the other side. I'm trying to think of a good example. Just when you have like push and pull energy that holds something in place, like interlocking drawers, things like that, dovetailing, right? There's something here that has been very functional or has worked quite well, but the structure is not long for this world. Magician, Knight of Wands in the reverse, and the Three of Wands. So when this natural disaster or storm happens, it basically takes out something that was a little bit weakened over time, and that something impacts communications. But with the Magician, I feel like there's someone here who's looking at this and saying it's only a matter of time before these communications go down, or before like no one will be able to know what's going on here, and then I'm going to take advantage of that moment. Three of Swords in the reverse, Six of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. Trying to put a bandage on something instead of actually going to the root cause of the problem. And I still feel like there's someone just kind of like watching and waiting, like at some point this is going to fail. It's not going to work, and then I can take advantage of it. Hello, Manu, how are you doing? Thanks for clarifying, April. Hello, Carrie, how are you doing? We have the Empress in the reverse and the Six of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. I think when this structure fails, when communication goes down, or when electricity goes out, we have someone who is like poised and ready to take advantage of that operation not being possible, or of that situation impacting other people or security. Hello, Anjali, how are you doing? Hello, Noreen. Hello, Sunflowers. What's up? For those of you that are looking for a question to be answered, I do personal questions after the general reading, which will be in about 25 minutes or so, with priority to those who tip or donate, and you can donate a membership as well as a super chat. We've got double life. We have someone who doesn't want to be honest about what they're working on or working towards. And someone who is not faithful. I don't know that I get that this is a romantic application of that. I suppose that would make sense, but this is feeling more so to me like we have somebody who feels like when everybody is focused on the chaotic thing happening, that they can take advantage and do what they want. I mean, maybe this person's like, oh goody, a natural disaster, so I can go hit on my coworker, you know? But no, we'll see. Is this about Knight of Cups? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. This is saying this is about greed. It's making me think of Fight Club. Spoiler alert. But they, in that movie, end up messing with, like, the financial sector, right? There's a major like network failure. That's what I feel like someone is trying to get to happen or is expecting. And when that failure happens, they feel like they are ready. It's like they're poised and able to take something that otherwise is guarded or protected. Hello, Marty. How are you doing? Hello, Lemonade. What's up? Ooh, be careful, Callan. We've got the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Swords in the reverse, with the Four of Cups in the reverse. I think we have someone who's aware that something is faulty. Perhaps this is like cybersecurity. And because they know about this weakness, they feel like they can get some sort of information. So the double life could actually be a reference to like a double agent, right? I have access, I can get information that is, you know, supposed to be used for something different. But I can avoid getting discovered if I make this action happen during a time when maybe like the security cameras are down, right? I'm gonna light another candle. What else do we have? The Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. I think this is someone who's watching the clock or watching carefully to see when something messes up, you know? Oh, well, now there's like this protection for like against malware that expires, or there's a production key that changes. I don't know. There is something here where someone knows if I'm patient, if I wait for the right moment, then I can get into a system and I can take something. But I'm waiting for the internet to go down, or I'm waiting for the cybersecurity protocols to fail. I don't know. Once I have that cue, then I know that I can take what I want, and I have some sort of like distraction, or everybody's looking elsewhere, right? That peacock and the King of Cups, it makes me feel like it's, you know, everyone's looking at the train wreck, so they're not going to notice that I'm stealing a Snickers bar, that kind of thing. All right, let's see what else we've got. This is the Kipper. What else do we have? Toil and labor. Sudden wealth. And change. See, I think we have money being embezzled, or money straight up being stolen. I know that I have access to these accounts, or I know that I have access to this person's safe, whatever it is, and they won't be able to figure out who it was if I wait for this gap where they can't see, or if I take advantage of the internet being down. Yeah. So they're waiting for that so that they can take something of value, or, you know, embezzle some money, leveraging their position or the access that they have earned somehow. So I wonder, are they going to get in trouble? This is the Path of Shadows. Hello, Sean. How are you doing? Excuse me. Hello, Blue Jay. How are you doing? Hello, Hooks. Hello, Lace. What's up? Sometimes it's like that, I suppose. Hello, Constantine. How's your day going? What else do we have? I hope it gets better, though. We have mirror, self-examination, understanding, and acceptance. And ghoul. In the shadows I dwell, feeding on what I can, not remembering when was the last time that life tasted well. So they're not very happy with how things are going. I do feel like finances are their main point of contention or frustration. So this appears to be somebody who has decided, I know how to steal some money, and that will solve all my problems. We have the Gargoyle card. In stone I'm carved, left alone in the cold, always watching over, protecting stories untold. Yeah, I think they're waiting for a moment where they can gain access to money without it being as easy to be tracked. Because the gargoyle always watching over, that's like the security camera concept, right? Transcendence, intuition, and power. So since I know that problem with electricity means that they no longer are able to, record or use the security cameras, then I know I could sneak in and take what I want and nobody would be able to figure it out because they're still working on the power being out. They're still working on the internet being down. This is the signs of the times. What else do we have? Key, opportunity. So I have the access, and I also know that now there's nobody that could potentially track that it was me that took that money. We have the balance card, and I feel like this is about a checking account balance. And then the disruption card. This is the disruption to the network or disruption to the internet. Whatever it is, I think it is communications based or related. And as such, this person feels emboldened to make some sort of theft happen. I'm proud of you for trying to stay positive. It's not always easy to do. So we have the Four of Potions or Four of Cups, the Five of Pumpkins or Five of Pentacles, and the Hermit. This is someone who's working alone. This is someone who has pretty solid understanding of the systems that they're dealing with or facing. And even though they have felt some sense of rejection or things haven't gone well for them on the financial or professional front, they do have a particular set of skills which enables them to take advantage of the communications being down and pilfering something, taking something for themselves. Hello, Yo-Yo, how are you doing? Hello, Crystal. We quoting Rihanna? I like it. So we have Judgment, 10 of Pumpkins or 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, Queen of Pumpkins or Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Nine of Potions. So greed or selfishness leads to somebody's decision to take a large sum of money or something very valuable and betray some sort of trust that has been placed within them. They've got this Queen of Pumpkins or Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. That's like, you know, you got a key to that property or you work there because someone decided to trust you with that and you're taking advantage of it. So we've got the King of Pumpkins or King of Pentacles in the reverse, which I'm taking as someone who is breaching something they shouldn't, right? Gaining access to a system they shouldn't. Because in this particular card, and it's very unusual, we have a King of Pumpkins or King of Pentacles that isn't even a person. It is a property. So I feel like this is saying we have someone who is using their access or using their proprietary knowledge for personal gain. I can take this and benefit from it. I can sell this, you know? But we've got transformation in the reverse, which is death in the reverse, the Magician, and the Sun. There is a part of the equation that has not been fully figured out or, you know, changed the way that it needed to, which makes me feel like this is someone who, even though they might have a very important particular set of skills, they may have underestimated what other people are able to do in terms of figuring out what they did. So we have someone who has probably committed a crime, right? They've stolen some money or something of value, taken advantage of security cameras being down or someone being out of town, that kind of thing. And given into temptation, taken something that is not theirs. But there's a problem here for them. There's something they didn't do right. Strength in the reverse, King of Candles or King of Wands. There is something that they have forgotten to check. It's like they left their access card at the scene of the crime, you know, something silly like that. Let's get a view from the Tattoo Tarot. No problem. Have a good one, Lemonade. They do that, Crystal. Lace, I would just say the best way to approach things is to ask those questions after the general reading and just try to keep in mind that I do like to spread the wealth, right? I think I did do a question or pulled some cards for you the other day. But yeah, I just have to be a little bit cautious with that. I don't want to show any favoritism. Oh yes, it is the general. Bank manager called, busted. Yep, that's, yeah. This is someone who may not have thought of all of the particular points of the process that they needed to know about in order to evade being captured. So Catch Me If You Can is going through my mind. You might be able to get away with something multiple times, but still eventually get caught, or you might be considered, you know, really good at doing something and then you still mess it up. There's something that it's like not executed perfectly, and as a result, there is this, like, the clock is ticking. There's going to be something that is discovered that ties them to this missing money. Four of Swords in the reverse. And this is someone who is terrified that if they get caught, they would be going to jail. So we have another King of Wands and the Star. Don't want people to know what I chose to do. I think we have a decision to do something a second time before realizing that you've already, like, left your mark or a signature that's going to be discovered. So the crime is repeated. Someone waits for a little bit and they're like, okay, so I guess that worked and it wasn't a problem. Maybe I could take like a little bit more. But they're pressing their luck. They're making it more likely that they get caught. This is the Situations deck. No, you're okay. You're a lot more polite than most people are about it. What do we have? What else? Karmic, third party, relationship lesson, financial support. Yeah, so I am, you know, going through difficult financial times. So as a result, a little bit more open to breaking the rules, breaking the law. And this is somebody who is taking some money because they feel like they have the ability to cover it up. They feel like they know who they're dealing with. And I think that's an employer. Magnetic. I think I said at the beginning there was something with geomagnetic storms or fields that could be impacting this. And then because of that gap in security, we have someone who's thinking, you know, I don't know how I can resist this. If I am able to steal, you know, a couple thousand and nobody notices, then why wouldn't I do it again? I don't know, man. Probably for the same reason that when you win something in a casino, that's when you walk out. You aren't going to win again. Like, yeah, they couldn't stop. So we won some money, we got some money, I pulled this off. I didn't know I could, but I did. And now I get a little bit bold. Now I get a little bit too brave, you know? Did I miss saying hello to April? Hello, April. Hello. Can I call you Thigh? I don't know what it is, Thigh, but I've like really hated how that phrase works. Can you borrow me the money? I don't know why I hate that so much. I don't know. But it's interesting because you asked at the same time as our hamster wheel card came out. Yeah, this is someone who is dealing with financial issues and constraints and concerns. Money is coming out now. We could have somebody who was expecting a child or had a family to take care of. And, you know, times is rough. But this is a person who got a little bit too comfortable breaking the law because the first time they tried it, they didn't have any issues with it. So they were like, okay, well then I guess I know what I'm doing. I guess I could maybe like do it again. Nightlife, gamble, take a risk, Vegas. So they look at, you know, another potential security breach happening or a gap in security, enabling them to do this again, and they do it. Hello, Ramon. How are you doing? Sure. Hello, SB. How are you doing? It's true. So look, now they decided they were going to take more money. And as a result, it starts being a little bit easier for people to pick up on what's really going on here. In other words, that boldness, that desire to do a little bit more ends up being pretty problematic for them. This is the Gypsy Oracle. What else do we have? Falseness and wedding. For some of you, we could have somebody who is leveraging their access to a marital partner's accounts as a way to slowly siphon money off of their partner. But this wedding card could also be talking about contracts. I do feel like for many of you, this is someone who's stealing from their work. And they might be doing it because they want to do something nice for someone else, or they might feel like they need to have the money for their partner. So we have service and prison, but what they end up doing is going to have legal consequences. I mean, they're stealing, right? And even though it's strategic and intelligent, it's because they repeat that theft and go for a larger amount the next time that they get caught. That there are significant consequences for them. This is What's the News? Yeah, I think that's fair. What else do we have? lift off, fast action, progression forward, the wait is over, and laughter, happiness, joy, and healing. It seemed like such an easy fix. They planned everything for so long, but when they actually did the stealing, it was like that. And it's like they get high off of it. It's like, I know I shouldn't be doing that, but it actually wasn't that difficult, and I did it, and I did it well, and I have all this money now. And I just threw my cards everywhere. So we have paranoid. Yeah, see, I think we have somebody who's stealing money because they need to provide for their family or because they have a partner who is pregnant. But we've got someone who probably should have been a little bit more cautious, or needed to be a little bit more reserved with the money, because now we have some attention being drawn to this individual because of the expenses or, you know, the partying perhaps. Yeah, this looks like a couple. And in order to buy the things necessary for their loved one, we have somebody who's willing to steal from their employer. Hello, Ryder. How are you doing? This is a gamer's ways. What else do we have? Fast travel. We don't always have time to stop and play around in photo mode. Some things require fast action. Sorry, I can't read it as well. There might be a mission timer, or you just need to hit the hay. Whatever the reason, it's happening with the quickness. So definitely feels like this person had that like rush of adrenaline. Oh my gosh, I did this thing. I stole this money. Wild. But also nobody's coming after me, so maybe I should do it again. There's this, like, I gotta get away, but nobody's coming after me, so maybe I can, like, get away with doing it again, take a little bit more. This is the moment of truth. Boss battle, by the way. Have you grown your skills diligently and with honor, or have you brought shame on the house of the developers with your careless frivolities? Judgment is here. Didn't think they were going to get caught. Now all of a sudden they're worried because it looks like they might actually have been caught. Stealth mission. Someone here is operating in the shadows. We can't always assume someone is being sneaky for nefarious reasons. They might be planning a surprise party or an ambush. Stay frosty. I think this person who has stolen money, probably from their employer, is getting surprised at work and like sat down. Here's the evidence. Here's what we know. So you're caught. Now we gotta like deal with this. Now there's like consequences and stuff. All right, so this is the Zodiac fortune telling cards. What else is going to happen for this situation? Success in business enterprises through hard work. Interesting. So whoever gets stolen from, I feel like they do get their money back. But it also kind of feels to me like the Bonnie and Clyde couple here, they could have actually been successful if they had worked. But instead, they wanted to take somebody else's stuff. So this person's moving, but I don't think it's moving to where they want to. We have a change of address. You have a mind of your own. Use it. There could be an opportunity for like the sidekick here to turn themselves in or to minimize the outcomes that might be negative for them by sharing what they know. But we do, I think, have some legal consequences happening for this person that took something that was not theirs. All right, I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I love you all. I'll try to come back one more time tonight. But thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for checking out my candles. And thank you for just being awesome. Toodles.